Welcome to KR Runs, my running channel. Just want to use this easy run I've got this morning as an opportunity to introduce myself, who I am, what I'm about, and hopefully some other interesting information. So my name's Kevin, 39 years old, based in Newcastle upon Tyne, which, as you can see, is a cold, snowy place at this time of year in January 2021. Been living in Newcastle now since 2004, but I'm originally from a place called Durham, which is about 12 miles, maybe 20 kilometres from Newcastle. So basically I'm northeast born and bred. My earliest running memory, like a lot of people, probably go back to when I was a young lad at junior school, school sports days at the end of term, running around a track basically, and at that time my father was pretty sort of enthusiastic about me getting into running, and he used to always give me little tips, and I'll always remember my father saying things like run for fun, and also quite funnily things like imagine you've got a leopard or a tiger running after you, which was a bit bizarre, but I guess it was an early introduction to using imagery to get the best out of myself, so it actually worked and I was pretty good. I remember doing pretty well running around the track. So yeah, that's my earliest memory of running. So in terms of current PBs, 5k I'm not so pleased with at the moment, 16:44. That's quite an old PB, going back to 2017. 10k was done in November 2018. That's 34:49. My best, or at least my proudest PB is my 10 mile, 55:37. That's my most recent. That was done November 2019. And my half marathon is 1 hour 16:32. So that's what I've got to work with. I particularly want to try and better my 5 and 10k. So favourite distance, I've always thought the shorter the better for me. I've never tried track, so that's definitely something I'd like to get into. Just never got round to it, so I'd like to change that. But actually that 10 mile really opened my eyes to possibilities. So I'd like to think 5 miles, 10k, up to half marathon. But I mean, I love 5k, and I really think I'll put a link down to a blog that I started way back when, which was my quest to run a sub 17 5k, which I did, as I said, in 2017. So yeah, 5k is a distance I love. I'd like to see how close I can get to 16 for 5k as well. So favourite athletes, I really enjoy watching old school footage. So like some Mcleod, who was a Olympian from round here, round for Elsick areas. Charlie Spedden, another Olympian from around here, ran for Gateshead. Love watching old footage of those guys, particularly Mike Mcleod. He was just so aggressive, so competitive. Steve Monaghetti, Australian marathon runner. Love watching his career, the way he built up, focusing on Commonwealth Games. He's got better and better.
Lap 9.
And then more recently, I would say I like the underdogs. So enjoyed Jake Robertson, New Zealand runner, sort of taking on Mo Farah, the Great North Run. Dathan Ritzenheim, really enjoyed how aggressive he ran. Came across a few times recently to obviously take on the Great North Run, and just that front running aggressive style, really great to watch. He's retired now, but yeah, quite like watching footage of him run. Favourite session, have to say just your bog standard bread and butter 20-minute threshold. I think it's a good barometer of where you are, and you can relate that sort of performance to a range of distances, so you can predict sort of where you're at for 5k, even sort of 10k, and then sort of progressing those thresholds up 30 minutes, adjusting pace accordingly. So yeah, I'd say those threshold sessions are my favourite. Not a big fan of the likes of 12 by 400 or whatever, as I'm getting older now. Prefer to keep most of my mileage aerobic and then use sort of racing to get fit, so to speak, whether that's sort of park runs, just to get that little bit of VO2 max work as part of sort of more of a race situation, rather than trying to flog yourself in sessions. But that's just me, my circumstances, trying to avoid injuries and that sort of thing.